Good evening. It's Saturday. It can mean only one thing, and that is that it's Saturday Night Live. And what a Saturday it is. We had a cracking, friendly game that United have taken on. We've won, and everybody's happy because that's how it works, isn't it? Man United win, we're happy. Man United don't win, yeah, we're a little bit grumpy. Or any of the other Seven Dwarfs. Depends on how we're feeling, whether it's hay fever season or not. Speaking of Seven Dwarfs, I've got 4 people here today. I don't know whether they're vertically challenged or not, but I certainly am. Benny's definitely not. But Dan is here, of course. He's our co-host, as ever. Danny boy, how are you, sir?
Sleepy.
Sleepy. Love that. Nice. Continued the theme. Well done. This is why I like you so much. Benny, how are you getting on, sir? Nice to have you on again.
I feel a bit dopey today, mate.
Oh no, I'm under the cosh. I don't know the Seven Dwarfs.
Pressure's on now, Baines and Andrew. Pressure's on. Andrew, we'll go to you first while Baines is desperately racking his brains. How are you feeling today, sir?
Yeah, all good and great to be back at Old Trafford today. It was.
Love to not carrying on with the dwarf. So he saved you there, Bainesy, because he just blatantly just stopped it there.
I'm happy. It's cool. I'm happy.
I saved you.
Yeah.
And Bainesy, lovely to have you on at last. How are you, sir?
All good. Yeah, all good. Thank you. It's been a long time, hasn't it? But yeah, happy to be on. I'm in my new dig, so yeah, it's good to be back, and finally the season's about to start. So I know we've all missed it, but yeah, good to be back. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Well, it's good to have you, and of course we've got Jennifer joining us in the chat as always. Greetings to you as well. Hope all is well with you, young lady. But for now, it is time to begin. So many things to talk about. Pre-season, boys. Pre-season is nearly over. All of the ridiculousness that we have to do, obviously, to get their legs in their minutes, but nobody really cares about these results. We just have to pretend that we do for something to talk about. But we did win 3-1 today, and it was a pretty good game. We had 2 people that were there, so I'm going to ask the people that were there first of all. Benny, first of all, how good was it to be back at Old Trafford? And secondly, what did you make of the performance?
Firstly, it's brilliant to be back at Old Trafford. You know, after it's like, to be fair, that it's not been too long of a gap between the end of the season and going back today, but you always kind of miss it, don't you? You know, when you go every week in, week out. But yeah, always great to be back, seeing the old faces again, seeing some mates I've not seen in a good couple of years as well. Bumped into quite a few today, so that's always great, and great to see old faces, and great to see mates that you see regularly every week, home or away. So yeah, brilliant to be back. The game was it's just a typical pre-season friendly. Wasn't played at a massively frantic pace, but as you said, minutes in legs. A lot of the starting 11 that played today probably going to start against Wolves. A lot of them played a good 60 odd minutes. By the time Garnacho came off, I think it was about 67 minutes. He was the first sub to come off. So yeah, plenty of getting a good solid 90 minutes in as well, which is needed. It's just an overall a decent performance. I thought, first half, little bit unlucky not to take our chance with Mason Mount in front of goal, but it is what it is. And then obviously a little bit of a mistake there from Diego Dalot, which led to Onana getting chipped well off his line. But listen, people are losing the marbles about that already. I just think it's pre-season. I've said this before. When we made a few mistakes against Borussia Dortmund, I'd rather get it out and done with now in pre-season, the mistakes, than having them happen against Wolves. So, yeah, overall, mate, very, very pleased, very, very happy. Nothing to grumble about, really.
Well, that's what we like to hear. Andrew, you're also at Old Trafford. I've got no idea how close you were to Benny, but I'm sure you could hear him regardless. What was your thoughts of the game?
Yeah, it was a good run out for the players. As Benny said, I think most of those players are going to be starting the Wolves game in a week and a bit. So, but yeah, so first half was controlling it throughout, but say sloppy mistake from Delo as well. So we can't be doing that in the new season as well, because just going to leave Onana completely exposed. And he had a brilliant game as well, despite. I applaud him. He tried to get back. He nearly did, but unfortunately it went in. But yeah, we can't let those sloppy mistakes creep into the new season. I don't know how Mason Mount missed. I think we all thought when it got to him, it was like he's going to go in. It's 1-0 to us. But like I say, rather than be fluffing the chances now in pre-season, and in the new season he's firing up and on all cylinders. But he did have a good game, I say, especially with his pressing as well. So literally when we lost the ball, I could see he was chasing the ball down. So in the second half, it was like normal service of resume. I think they asked Ten Hag, what did he say? He said, stick to the plan and we'll get the results. And literally, Rashford got us back into it, and then literally another 10 minutes later, and we're 3-1 up. So, good game. So, good run out for the players. So, see what the next week brings, and look forward to Wolves on the opening day.
No, absolutely. Jarvis has pointed out already that he liked how we pressed in packs in the second half, especially Mason Mount. He was a big contributor to our press play. Bainesy, I'll come to you because you said you joined the match just as Mason Mount missed what I think all of us thought was bound to be his first goal for the club. He seemed to get in some good positions, especially in that first half. Just didn't quite have I suppose maybe the ball, the one that he had was a bit behind him for that one, but just didn't quite have the final result there, did he?
No, I mean, obviously I tuned in and he's missed a sitter, so it must have been me. It's my bad luck, of course. But no, look, those things do happen. I think Benny said it. As long as it happens in pre-season, this is the whole point of it. It was good build-up play. A fantastic ball by Bruno at first, outside of his boot, and I think everyone seems to be concentrating on that miss too much because they're not focusing on the play before that. I mean, it started with Onana with an accurate pass, and I think there was a bit of link-up play, and then Bruno got it. He switched it all the way to Garnacho. He was on his bike, and then a lovely square ball, which should have been finished 99% of the time. That it would have been, but it's just that it was a little bit behind him, but he should have finished it, I suppose. But he's been okay. I mean, look, the whole point of pre-season is to get minutes in legs. You can't really concentrate on results. I mean, let's look at last pre-season. We won all the games, I'm pretty sure. I think we drew one. We beat Liverpool 4-0, I think it was, in that cup final that in pre-season. And then we go and lose 2-1 to Brighton, and then we lose 4-0 to Brentford. So really, does pre-season matter? Pre-season results matter as much as fitness and minutes in legs? Of course, the ultimate goal really now is to go out against Wolves and get 3 points. That's the main goal now. Set us up for the season nicely. But yeah, look, I'm impressed with the new signings. To be fair, with Onana, with Mount. Obviously, we haven't seen Højlund yet, but I'm sure there's more to come with Mason Mount. He played this. I think he started off with a false 9, didn't he? So he was drifting into that 9. And he did that at Chelsea, and he scored a bag of goals for him. So, yeah, I'm confident in his ability. We've signed a great player, someone who can switch with Bruno a lot as well. So, yeah, look, those misses happens. I'm glad it was in pre-season and it weren't in like a super important game. But those goals will come, and as soon as they do, we're going to have a great player on our hands. I know we will. All the Chelsea fans seem to say it. So I'm sure we've got a bit of a gem on our hands. Yeah. Pleased with the result in the end.
Good. So Danny boy, I mean, we've spoken a bit about Mason Mount already. You know, he obviously when he arrived, we claimed he wasn't really the marquee signing. He wasn't necessarily the big name that we felt that we needed, or even just the name that we needed at that point in time. How do you feel he's got on so far, and how did you rate his performance against Lens today?
I think he's got on quite well. I genuinely I'm still of the same persuasion of I don't think he's a marquee signing. I think he's there to do a job that Ten Hag wants, and the kind of player that you really wanted in, because he can trigger the press with Bruno, because he can play 1-2s, switch positions. I'll be happy if he gets 10 goals and assists between them next season, because I hope he's the jigsaw to unlock everybody else, to be honest. And I think that's what it's looking like. I think the miss is a bad miss, but I think people forget what football's like in real life. The speed he was running at to stop, because it was a little bit behind him, and he just got his feet
Pace
a
of
bit
the
messed
game
up.
is ridiculous.
Yeah. People don't realise just how fast you have to stop to take that chance. So I think it's just cobwebs, bit of rust. Honestly, through pre-season, I felt that the second team players have looked better than the so-called first team players. And I think that's a good sign, because once the first team players are up to scratch, it means that a lot of the second players are right there ready to go if we need them. I noticed that Sancho seemed to be limping. I don't know whether Andy or Benny saw that at the end. He looked like he picked up a knock. So I'm hoping that he's not picked up like a long-term injury, or even a few weeks. That would be frustrating, because he's Sancho in particular has been brilliant pre-season. Obviously, the performance I thought was fantastic. The Dalot, for me, it was a Dalot mistake. Gives the ball away when he's really no need to be giving the ball away in that position. He wasn't under a lot of pressure. I would say that Onana was probably a little bit too far off his line in one aspect, but we've all read that is exactly what he's like. So I don't think that's going to change in a hurry. Can I just say as well, though, in all of this, what a goal. He can only put it in one place, and he puts it there. And I don't think he got I don't know who it was that scored it, but you don't seem to be getting any credit. I can remember it happened to Ramsdale.
It's a great finish.
Yeah, it happened to Ramsdale in the Europa League quarterfinals, and everyone was praising the finish more so than criticizing Ramsdale. I just thought it was absolute stunning goal. I'd give it a little clap, and then was a bit annoyed at the performance, to be honest, in the first half. We was better in the second half. I thought that there's still a little bit of rust in terms of the players and the way Ten Hag wants to play. We looked a lot more comfortable winning the ball quick and breaking quickly with quick patterns of play, more so than keeping the ball. All the pressure and goals seem to come from winning the ball back quick, moving up the pitch really quick. So I still think there's a little bit to learn. And then for me, just a special mention to Garnacho. I thought he was so good today. Absolutely brilliant. I was one of the ones that said, I'm not quite sure he's ready to start. If he plays like that when he starts, he can start as much as he wants.
Well,
Electric,
sure he's
isn't
very pleased he's got your blessing. So that's good news. Well, look, we've got Dave here saying, let's hope it isn't the curse of the number 7 shirt. Jennifer's coming right back at him with Robson, Cantona, Ronaldo, Beckham. What curse? I mean, did Michael Owen wear the number 7? I mean,
that was the start of the curse.
I think for every good one, you can probably name one that's not quite lived up to the hype on that one. And then, of course, Dave responds with, maybe Garnacho's cast a spell on Mount for taking his number 7 shirt. Not quite sure what we're trying to say. It's Alejandro Garnacho, not Harry Potter, but you never know. He might have had a visit to Hogwarts over the summer. Who knows? Well, we've mentioned Onana now, Benny, so we probably should go down that particular rabbit hole. I found it amazing because I didn't watch the whole match live. I've watched highlights and done things like that. But obviously on Twitter /X, you get to see all of these things in glorious HD. I found it really interesting because the cut is absolutely massively important for me on this one. Every single cut that I saw only started with the Lens player receiving the ball.
I wondered this.
And it's only when you watch the highlights that you see Dalot basically a bit of a hospital pass. He doesn't play it to the player. He's played it behind him. The attacker's done the right thing, nipped in between the two, got hold of it, sees that Onana's off his line. And then, as Dan said, what a finish. I mean, it is he says he can only put it in one place. He can't. He could have put it in the stands. He could have put it wide. He could have put it in Onana's hands. You know, there's a million places he could have put it. The fact that he's put it there amazing. Let's not forget when Beckham did that, we were all going absolutely crazy. So we do have to put a little bit of a positive spin on that. But you were there. What was the general feeling among the match-going fans? Because I always feel there's a little bit of a difference between Dave on Twitter and Steve at Old Trafford sometimes when it comes to opinions. So what was the general gist of the people around you when that goal went in?
I think really, mate, was we all sort of started the first 30 seconds, because I had the Lons fans behind me celebrating. First 30 seconds was I looked back at one of my mates. I just looked like gobsmacked a little bit. Did that really go in? Did we really see, did we really see that to hit the back of the net? But at the end of the day, mate, listen, like I said, I'd rather get these mistakes out of the way in pre-season than have these happening during the league season, or even happen on our opening game of the season. So it's little teething problems as well. Still that back four still get used to Onana still get used to back four. Dalot's been in and out with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, obviously getting his fair share of game time as well. It's just one of those. Sometimes Dalot can be like that a little bit. Switches off a little bit. He maybe needs to learn that he's got to stay switched on at all times. Bit of a hospital ball, as you said. This is a great finish. Can't take anything away from him. It's a brilliant finish. But one thing that amazed me was actually on the back pedal how quick Onana actually was on the back pedal. He was way out of his goal, but he almost got there. Let's be fair. He made a decent attempt, but on the back pedal, it amazed me how quick he actually was for a big guy as well, because he's a big unit. Onana. So that impressed me. But when you watch Onana, he's so comfortable on the ball. I have never ever seen a United team not panic giving it back to the goalkeeper. Everything's calm. No, there's no panic there. There's no rush. There's no hesitation from anyone to give the ball back to the goalkeeper. I think he had one misplaced pass, I believe, in the second half when he just overhit it towards Luke Shaw and it went out of play, Onana. But a lot of his balls are brilliant. There's a couple of times he went long over the top. Bruno's got a couple of flick-ons there, and Rashford's got on the end of one of those as well. So he's going to be a very, very useful exponent of the ball at his feet. And I think, with the rapid, fast players we've got up top, really likes your Rashfords, your Garnachos, your Antonys. The ball over the top is going to be probably our biggest weapon next season. Whether he puts it over the top of the channels or puts it direct route one over the top to try and get, if it's Højlund or if it's Rashford up top, whoever it may be, on the shoulder of the last man, just ping it over route one. You're not catching them, you're not catching those. And it just seems that every pass is crisp. It's always to a shirt. Even the long passes are going to a shirt. Whether it's Bruno, as I said, whether it's Bruno flicking it on, or whether it's Rashford receiving it on the turn, or he's received it first time touch, took it out the air. It's good to see that he's not panicking. And and I saw it second half because I, obviously where the disabled section is, where me and little man was sitting. It was great to see. You could tell Onana's talking to his back line constantly. He's throwing his arms around, trying to get his back line moving, and trying to dictate where the ball should go. If Martinez has got it, give me. I want it, Martinez. I want to receive it. Pass it back to me, or give a slight little point if he's thinking, maybe go back to Varane, or go out to your left with Luke Shaw. It's just amazing how you see that basic little bit of command there, whereas, I love David De Gea. Everyone knows I love David De Gea, but you would never get that with De Gea. There's never that sort of constantly talking to his back line, constantly in communication, always ready to receive the ball, always wanting the ball back. And there was a couple of times in the second half as well. So especially the last probably 5-10 minutes, Lons started coming back at us a little bit. And Martinez especially Martinez and Onana, they were playing the ball to and from each other with ease. No panic from either player. Either player wants it comfortably. It's just nice to see that we've got a bit of communication in the back line now and a bit of talking going on, and there's no panic and there's no hesitation to play the ball back to the keeper, or for the keeper to play the ball a short little ball to either one of his back lines. So yeah, Onana, he'll be all right. I think it's hiding out those sort of little creases, if you like. Still getting used to each other. Once everybody's in tune with each other, it might take a couple more weeks yet. But once they're all in tune with each other, they'll know where Onana likes to be. They'll know where he's positioned himself. Yes, he will come out quite far. That's the goal. Monday goalkeeper. I think somebody I can't remember who said it was. Ramsdale got lobbed. I think he got lobbed last season as well from quite far out. The City keeper, I can't remember his name off the top of my head now because my mind's gone blank, but he got lobbed last season off his line. So it does happen with his Monday goalkeepers, especially the way Monday football has been played. So listen, he's all right. I saw a few people on social media going for the keeper, and there's obviously all these accounts that like to be anti-United accounts, the ABU accounts that look, Onana's been lobbed off his line. But listen, he's going to be a quality goalkeeper, and he's going to be one that's going to keep us on the edge of our seats either way. You're never going to be short of heart stopping moments with him. This season.
All adds to the excitement in the end, doesn't it? All adds to the excitement. Andrew, again, you were there. You saw what was going on. I saw a statistic, and I've got no idea if it's a real statistic or if somebody's just made it up or what. But there were plenty on there that says that last year, Onana made about 360 passes up to 30 metres out from his goal, and he never missed one of them. They all went to the right person. Then he's talking about distribution, all those sorts of things, the things that obviously with Dave we didn't necessarily always have the positive side of. Would you say it was a positive performance? Did you like what you saw from Onana?
Yeah, definitely. I was watching him a bit in the warm-up, and I just thought, as much as I love De Gea, I just thought that Onana's an upgrade. So for all the benefits Onana brings, there's going to be a bit of inherent danger, when he comes out so far from the goal. And obviously that was exposed by the Lens player. And to be fair, I think we was all caught by surprise by the goal. I think if we'd have scored that, we'd have been lauding it. It was just just came out of nowhere. But obviously, it's not Onana's fault. It was the sloppy pass from Delo. And literally, as Benny said, Onana literally raced all the way back, nearly got there. And even if he had and made that, tipped it out of the bar, we'd have all been lauding the save. But as I say, he made the effort to get back as well. So he didn't just stand there and watch it go over him. So, but I think with Onana, his ability with the ball at his feet and his willingness to come outside, well outside his box, it will help United in the long run with their build-up play. So it's not something De Gea could do very much. So, but it also means when United are on the move and it breaks down, Onana's potentially in danger because he's been out of position. And that's what caught us out in the first half. But as I say, Ten Hag worked with him before at Ajax, and we'll just probably accept it as an occupational hazard. But we'll hope in the long run it's all worth the risk. And I like what he also during the game, every time the ball went out behind the goal, Onana wanted the ball back quickly, wanted to get it, the ball back in play and get us moving it again. And what I liked was after the game, I think he said to MUTV about conceding the goal, where he thought the blame lied, and he said, "I'm responsible for everything. I'm the man at the back, so I'm going to I'm taking all the critics and the pressure for it." And I thought he could have mentioned Delo making the bad pass, but no, he said it's my fault. I let the goal in, and also it's going to be very popular amongst the fans as well. I think the first few passes he made was like huge ovation for him as well. And obviously in time he will get better. So, and also he'll drill that defence into, making less mistakes, and can see him shouting and talking on the field, which didn't necessarily see much from De Gea in his time at United. But with Onana, as I said, definitely an upgrade, and I think he's going to be a great signing for us.
What's the world coming to when you're getting standing ovations for making a pass? Surely that's a bare minimum for a Premier League player.
I think he was just. I think he was just welcoming him to the club. So.
I know, Andrew. I know, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
So Bainesy, we've got lots of positives here with Onana. That's obviously quite clear. He's obviously got command over his box. I saw as well on Twitter people having a go at him because he was having a go at Maguire. And again, it's one of those where actually we saw that from Schmeichel all the time. You know, that box is his box and it's someone who's going to own it. And if you're not doing the right things in that box, it's going to be, you're going to get a rocket. That seems quite obvious and that's good. But he does like to play high. Do you think we're in a situation where the defence could potentially be exposed here if we get to the point where more teams are probably going to try this sort of approach to see if they can catch him off his line?
Yeah, honestly, it is one of the downfalls of playing like this. But then again, if you listen to every single press conference or interview that Ten Hag does, he always talks about transitions and how well and proactive his teams like to be on the transition. Now, he's obviously signed a keeper that he knows. He had him at Ajax. And he knows what he's going to get with Onana. So him constantly coming out and saying we need to be proactive, we need to play, I wouldn't say careful football, but just read the game better. If we think we're going to lose the ball earlier, be proactive, get players back, get into the right position so it stops goals like this. And it stops, more importantly, it stops teams playing that kind of football where they try and hit us on that counter. Now, look, he's come out, Onana, and he's exactly what Andrew said. He's come out and he said, I'm the big man at the back. I'm going to take all the criticism. Brilliant, because that takes all the focus off the low. And all the clips that you see of him getting lobbed and no one I mean, Sky were doing it where they weren't showing the misplaced pass from Delo. These things happen. Misplaced passes are always going to happen at the back, and obviously it is Delo's fault. But at the same time, you do have to be cautious that that's going to happen. Now, look, 9 times out of 10, a player's putting that either side of the post or in the stands. It's a great finish. Honestly, I think if that happens again, he will end up missing, and again and again and again. So yeah, it's just one of those goals. It's there's nothing we can do about it. Of course, we can laugh about it now because it's pre-season and in the end, we actually won the game. But for me, I'm not afraid of Onana and what he's going to bring. Look, my heart skips beats every single time De Gea tried to kick the ball. And I actually loved De Gea. I really did. I think he's been a great servant to the club. Obviously, he's a legend. He's done everything for us. He's dug us out deep in so many games. So I'm not going to criticise him too heavily. But I think I saw it. I can't remember what game it was. It might have been his first game where he was almost like the third centre back and he was playing 1-2s with Martinez and Varane. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if this is what's going to come, I'm not sure if my heart can take this. But look, he's just that kind of goalkeeper. He's really comfortable with his feet. He wants to get involved. And if this is the way football is going, then albeit we should be moving with the times, right? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, we need a cat in goal and we need a shot stopper in goal and I'll rather have someone who's 10 out of 10 in the net rather than 10 out of 10 on his feet. But we need to move with the times in football. And if Onana brings that, then yeah, it's brilliant. You can tell he's very commanding. He's very, very vocal. Now, I know I'm going on a bit, but I know the whole Maguire situation where he was having a massive go at Maguire. First of all, it was actually Eriksen's fault. I think he misplaced the pass to Maguire, got intercepted, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sure why he was having a go at Maguire. Maybe he was telling him to track back a bit more because Maguire sort of gave it up a little bit. I'm not sure. But you want a goalkeeper to let you know you've made a mistake and to switch on. Now, if you're a fullback or if you're a centre back, you need your keeper to be switched on all the time. all the time, because when that mistake happens and he bails you out, he's going to be on you like a fly over shit, right? And that's how you want it. That's how you want it, because you know that the keeper's on it. That means I need to be on it, and it bleeds through the team. So him having a go at Delo, he probably did have a go at him. I mean, like, what are you doing in the dressing room, of course? And he's obviously had a go at Maguire. So fine, I'm absolutely fine with it. The keepers need to be vocal. Every single team you look at, they're always vocal. Every single team you look at, they've got a commanding keeper in the box. So bring it on. We needed that change. I think it's good. He's going to hopefully elevate the back line even more. And I hope it brings a style of play where we're more modern with the game, I think. So, yeah, not concerned at all with Onana. Honestly, I'm not. I'm hoping he can transition into the Premier League, because it is a very physical league. So he'll be fine. I know he will be. All the signs are there. There's obviously a great keeper there who's comfortable with his feet. So, yeah, no issues there. I'm happy with him, to be fair.
Good
And
stuff.
that's me. My
No problems. So Jarvis has said, we think Ten Hag will target a new right back in the next window. Problem with Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, they both lack the one and the other. I don't know. I think I'm quite happy with
It's
both
just a bit of rustiness. Look, what we saw from Dalot there, it's just a bit. He just hasn't had many minutes. It's fine. You do this in preseason all the time. You get your mistakes out early. You know, he's always going to be thinking now, right? If he gets a similar situation to that now, he's going to think, okay, I better not mess this up, because he's about 4 miles off this line. If I mess this up, that's going to happen again. That's what you want in pre-season. You want them to do the mistakes so they don't do it again. Bit of rustiness is fine. Take the cobwebs off. They'll go.
I agree. I think they'll be fine. But we do have we have a dissenting voice in the ranks, boys. Here we go. So King T'Challa said, first of all, we can't believe how naive so many fans have been by the impact they think Onana will make, which followed on from his original comment, which was the biggest issue last year is the midfield going on forward. It's still that way, he thinks. We've got no rhythm, no patterns of play, no signature goals. And Onana will do his thing, but he can't score goals. You can't have a go at him for the fact he's not scoring goals. He's a goalkeeper. He's there to stop them, I would think. But Dan, we can move away from the defensive side, because the second half, we came out and we scored 3, I think, 2 really good goals and one that was probably a bit lucky. And the first 2 specifically, Anthony was instrumental towards. His ball for Marcus Rashford was just absolutely sublime. Just cut everybody out. Again, we spoke about Bruno's ball earlier on. Straight down to the right-hand side. Rashford beats his man. The ball does deflect, I think, off of the defender from what I could see, but still has to put it on target. And in it goes. And then ditto for Garnacho for his ball to Anthony for his goal. Almost an identical position to Rashford. So do we think that maybe Mr. T'Challa here needs an MUTV subscription? Because I don't know. I felt the second half was quite attacking for me.
I actually agree.
Me or him?
Him, I agree. I think we do struggle with. I was saying a little bit earlier. It's not so much. I'm probably not as harsh in what I'm thinking. I just think these clear signs that they still need time on the training pitch to get these patterns of play, to play in the triangles, to play together. You've got to remember Mount, Fernandez and Casemiro has probably played together twice in a game before this for 45 minutes. So they need time to gel. This is what I mean by, from watching the game today, I thought it was really sloppy in the first half. We just didn't seem to be on it. In the second half, we was a lot better, but we was a lot better because of the kind of football we was playing. We sort of was playing, get the ball back, get it forward quickly. I don't want to say it too much because I rattle on too much about it, but it was more Solskjaer sort of for football. We got the ball back quickly. We got it forward quickly. We played with pace. So I agree to an extent that there is patterns of play still to be found and still to be had. And I definitely think they will come with more time on the training field for sure. I don't particularly think that there's no hope whatsoever. I think these players just need time to play together. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be getting them on the training pitch, finding each other's rhythms. You've got to give them time to bed in. I honestly could not care about preseason in the sense that there's several times I've seen managers go completely unbeaten. I think David Moyes didn't lose a game in pre-season. Then we came back against, was it Man City in the Charity Shield? When we was 2-0 down to win or something like that. And then we
That
lost
was under
the first.
Fergie, I think. Was that Moyes?
I think, was it Moyes? I think it might have been Moyes.
No, I think that was Fergie's last season.
I think it was,
Well, we did win the Community Shield. We did win the Community Shield with Moyes, and I forgot who it was against, but we did win that with the Community Shield with Moyes.
I thought that was
It's
against
Wigan, that.
Was it against
And
Wigan?
we went 1-0 down. I think we won 2-1.
Yeah, well, it's just like I say, pre-season we won Carabao Cup as well, and then we started the season under Moyes, and we was absolutely dreadful. It doesn't mean a huge amount, and you've seen from all the pre-season games just how much they've chopped and changed. What's going to be interesting for me going forward is, like I say, in my opinion, some of the so-called second team players have played really well pre-season. They've looked in decent form. They seem to be understanding what Ten Hag wants. So obviously he's going to start with his first 11 for the first few games. It's just for me, how long, if it doesn't start well and before we see a few changes. I personally think, just nipping back to defence, I think Wan-Bissaka has been in much better form than Dalot, but it looks like Dalot is going to start the season, which I disagree with Jarvis, by the way, and I disagree with a lot of people in terms of Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. They're not that far apart. People seem to think that one's better than the other one going forward and one's much better than the other one defending, and the stats don't seem to back that up. They're very, very close in both aspects. Wan-Bissaka's just better with not getting taken on, basically. I think give them time to gel. We've got to remember that he, in my opinion anyway, he performed absolute miracles last season with what he wanted to do and what we did. He performed miracles. We need to give these players time to settle. I really, really hope that Sancho and Anthony can both really have strong seasons this season, because that will help. I do still think we're missing a proper centre forward. So I'm hoping that Højlund is the proper centre forward. I still just, in the back of my head, really wish that we went and signed Kane. Because to me, if we went and signed Kane, it's the difference between winning a league and challenging for a league, and maybe not this year.
If it's true that Kane wanted 575 grand a week, Dan, are you really paying that for a 30-year-old?
No, I wouldn't pay that. No, it's got to make sense. Well, you know what I'm like. I was unsure on the Sancho deal. I'm still unsure on the Rashford deal because it's a lot of money, but we could have quite easily lost him, so pay it. But yeah, for those figures, maybe not. I just think
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, in a fantasy team, in a fantasy land, if you offered me Kane up front next season, I'd snap your hand off, because I think it is literally the missing piece.
Yeah.
Fantasy
I
team.
have to agree.
Yeah, you're describing City there, aren't you?
Yeah, that's all exactly. The highest new centre back in Premier League history, but it isn't.
Go on, Baines, you were going to say something, were you?
Yeah, just on the Kane thing. Look, I know a lot of people are questioning his ambition in the game if he doesn't want to leave Tottenham. I don't think he'll go Bayern. I think he wants that Premier League record. But I would say, and I will go out on a limb, that if we do sign Harry Kane, I think it puts us right up there for challenging for the league. I know that's very early to say with Onana coming in, who's a key aspect to the team, but having Harry Kane as the number 9 for Man United completely changes how this team plays. They can play through Kane. They can bounce it off him. They can ping it into him. He'll control it and shoot. He's just that kind. He is generally the missing piece. And a lot of people are saying, what trophies has he won and all that bollocks. But in football, that doesn't mean anything, because you could. I don't know what player can I pluck out? Choupo-Moting went to Bayern Munich and won the treble. Choupo-Moting. Are you saying that he's better than Harry Kane?
I'm saying
No.
He's got the best agent in world football.
Exactly. Right? Trophies, yes, obviously they mean something. To us fans and players, of course, they mean something. But to put it on Harry Kane, I mean, we signed Roy Keane from Nottingham Forest when they went down. So what was that? What does that mean? Or what did Ronaldo do at Sporting when he went to United?
Do you know what I find?
It's just
He terrorised John O'Shea.
Really interesting about the top league goal scorers for the Premier League. I've got to say, when you look at it, it's amazing because obviously the top goal scorer, Alan Shearer, 260, one club man, just played for Newcastle.
Yeah,
Harry Kane,
the same.
213. Well, yeah, but not for long.
And he won the Premier League with them. So if you're talking about,
he spent most of his life at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Behave yourself.
Played for Southampton as well.
He did win the Prem at Blackburn.
And then Rooney did the same. Spent most of his life at Man United. So Andy Cole, probably the biggest one to have gone around a few places. But it's really interesting. Aguero, City, Lampard, Chelsea, Henry, Arsenal, Fowler, Liverpool. It's quite interesting how actually the greatest strikers seem to be ones that don't move around all that often. They're not the journeyman ones. They're the ones that stay in one place and become the focal point for a team. So it's interesting. And
what's
Benny,
Kane on?
213. He requires 206.
He's not far off.
yeah,
It's like 47 goals. He can do that in a few seasons, couldn't he?
Well, he scored 30 for the last two, and he's not won the Golden Boot in either.
I was going to say
Premier League goals, that is, right? Yeah, so 2 seasons he's done it on average. Bloody hell. He'll probably break it. If he goes to United, he'll obviously break it.
I was going to say, just on your point, Barry, those players that haven't moved around as much, but they've won trophies. And I just think when a player comes to the end of their career, they want to look back and say, well, I've won something. Though Shearer's the top Premier League goal scorer, he did win the Premier League. Harry Kane's got to decide what's best for him as well, because are Tottenham going to win the Premier League in the next few years? I don't see it. So he's going to be 33, 34. How much longer after that has he got in the game? So I just think, yes, he's a great striker, but I just think he would like to win something in his career. So yes, I would love him at United. Do I see him coming to United? Probably not. So, like I say, it's what Harry wants, but Tottenham's chairman's Daniel Levy, and if he's going to let him go, he's going to get the most money out of him. So, but
Kane's got to push it his end. Kane, in order for him to leave Spurs, Kane's got to go into Mr. Levy's office or whatever and go, look, I want to leave. If you get a deal for 80 million quid or 90 million quid, accept it. I want to go.
But
so
I think
he's got to push it.
I think they've said, well, he's not going to push it. He's just like, which I get, he's being a bit loyal to Tottenham's like,
of course.
I might be looking over my shoulder going, those clubs that are interested in me, or I would like to go there. But yeah, if he does break the Premier League record, goal scoring record at Tottenham, and being the all-time highest Premier League, but it's like when he looks back, well, what else have you done? Well, besides being England's highest goal scorer, it's like, what else would you like to have won? But that's up to him and the club. Well, his current club to decide.
Oh, absolutely, it is. So, Benny, we'll come to you to talk about a little bit about Højlund, your thoughts and your excitement on seeing him. We know he's got a bit of a knock, so we're not expecting to see him for a few weeks. But yeah, your opinions on Højlund, but also continuing with the Lons team, your thoughts on Anthony. How important do you think Anthony's going to be this season, especially if he can maintain that sort of level, getting on the score sheet and an assist as well?
Yeah, on Højlund, first of all, I'm really excited to see him. Young kid. It's about time we looked to sign a younger striker, because as great as Ibrahimovic, Ronaldo, Cavani have all been, I really want to see the next generation. What can the next generation striker bring to Manchester United? What can somebody with his whole career in front of him bring to Manchester United? So I'm excited to see him. People might go on about, he's only scored X amount of goals for Atlanta, blah 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 blah. but let's give the kid a chance. You know, I'm not expecting him to blow the goal scoring league charts apart this season or the next season or the season after that. If we get his double figures, brilliant. But let's make sure we give him time. Let's make sure we don't pressure him too much. You know, let's not get on the kid's back. Let's just support him and see what he brings us. You know, I'm excited to see him. Honestly, that we've got a young looking front line when you think about Garnacho as well. You know, with Højlund, that could be those two could be a mainstay of Manchester United team for the next decade and a half. You know, fingers crossed. Hopefully, if all works out. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Just think that you know. Just think that, you know, we really lacked that sort of younger mind up front. I think someone that's a little bit more unpredictable, someone that the Premier League defenses around Europe probably don't know too much about. So it could have a bit of a surprise element, especially his first 2 or 3 months in a Manchester United shirt. It's a shame that he's out till September, I believe, isn't he? He's going to miss the first couple of weeks because he's picked up a knock. But I really can't wait to see him. Listen, we had to wait for Wayne Rooney's debut, didn't we? We had to wait a few weeks for that one because he came back injured as well. So when we signed him, he wasn't fully fit. So listen,
he went on to score a hat-trick against Fenerbahce.
Yeah, it'll be well worth the wait, mate. But I don't know on Anthony. I thought he played really well today. Yes, somebody said, it's not somebody said. There's been quite a few people on social media saying, his first touch for his goal was a bit heavy. Yes, it was a bit heavy, but he still put it in the back of the net. He still put it in the onion bag. Still lifted it over the goalkeeper. It's a brilliant finish, you know, because he could have just twatted it straight at his leg, really, at the goalkeeper's leg. If he hit it low, but he just had that presence of mind to lift it over the goalkeeper. And I like Anthony. I like his work rate. I love his work rate. He gets back. He helps out. Doesn't shirk any defensive responsibilities. He loves to get stuck in. You know, he'll stand his ground as well. If somebody squares up to him, you'll be damn sure that he'll square back up to them. And he's the first one to get into a bit of a ruckus as well. If one of his teammates is getting a bit of a hard time, Anthony's usually the first one on the scene. You know, squaring up to a opposition player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Anthony. I just think if he could use his unfavoured foot a little bit more, would be brilliant, you know. Excuse me. But at the end of the day, listen, we all know what we're getting with Anthony. You know, it's just as long as he keeps improving, so long as he, you know, he could have a brilliant second season now. You know, he's had his first taste of English football. He's got that under his belt. He's got his first season under his belt, and he'll probably find it a little bit easier. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this season. And I think he'll, excuse me, I think he'll come good in the Champions League. I think Europe will definitely suit him. But I'm hoping he takes the Premier League a bit by storm this season, a little bit more than perhaps he did last season, you know. But he's always there, Anthony. He's always, as I said, always wants the ball, doesn't shirk, doesn't go hiding anywhere. Give me the ball, and I'll try and do as best I can. And then I just think that we should give him. You know, we gave him a little bit of time. We should keep persevering him. Just keep giving him a little bit of time. You know, and he'll come good. He'll come good. Trust me. You know, he does remind me a little bit of Nani in a way. You know, that sort of when he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he looks a bit off the boil. You know, but you can tell the difference. It's a bit of a drop off. But when he's good, he is good. So I'm looking forward to seeing him this season. I really am. And him on the right. Rashford will be starting up top if Højlund's not fit. Garnacho on the left. Garnacho, Rashford, and Anthony. That is some pace that's going at the opposition, and I'm licking my lips really to seeing that front three. hopefully that'll be the front three. You know, Mr. Ten Hag might throw a spanner in. It might be Sancho in there as a false nine, or Sancho might be on the left or off the right. You know, you never know. But hopefully that front three that I've just mentioned, Rashford, Garnacho, and Anthony. I wouldn't like to be the opposing defenders facing them three.
No. Absolutely. I mean, I'm licking my lips as well, but that's probably more to do with the fact that I know I've got cake and custard after the show, so it could well be that. Andy, you were watching, and he's just mentioned Garnacho. I suppose really that's the last question to come out of the friendly that we've seen today. Do you see Garnacho starting and playing? I mean, Jarvis has put here that Sancho obviously played a bit more centrally rather than either on the right or the left. But do you feel it works doing that?
I think it's going to be a huge role for Garnacho this season. Every time he plays, it seems more and more destined he's going to be, getting more game time as well. He's the most dangerous player in the team. When he gets on the ball, he has the defenders, quaking in their boots, and he contributed with the assist today. But it's just like his direct dribbling, and could have easily, had more assists or even a goal as well. But I think I've said it on here before. It's like every time that he gets on the ball, the crowd are on their feet. It's like we think something's about to happen, and obviously with Højlund coming in, I think Garnacho sent a message to him, and I just think with Højlund being 20 and Garnacho 19 as well, it's like Ten Hag's building a team for the future, and with their two positions, it's sort of sorted probably for the next decade at least, and that's going to be a massive strength for United in these positions. So, and you could say a couple of years ago we were looking weak and lacking depth, in those positions. So that's them two players. I'm looking forward to seeing how they link up as well. But as Benny said, with Rashford, I think we'll be leading the line for the first few weeks and maybe a couple of months while Højlund settles in as well. So, as I say, he's not the finished article yet, but he will come good in time. But say Garnacho, I'm just like, every time I see him, I'm just like, it just gets better and better. And I can't wait to see what he does this season for us.
Garnacho, by the way, is every type of is that type of Manchester United winger that you'd associate in the 90s. He just runs at people. He's not scared. He doesn't. The good thing about Garnacho, the one thing that really annoys me about modern day football, is a lot of the wide players have to cut inside all the time. Garnacho does like to hook the touchline. He does like to bomb it on the outside and on the inside. He varies his play up, where there's a lot of wide players now like to always just keep coming inside into traffic. But at least he loves to take on a player. And let's be fair though, when he's running at pace at you, you're not going to catch him. And the pullbacks for Mason Mount, who unfortunately didn't finish an open opportunity. But just the awareness to see Mount's in space there. Other players might have tried taking it on themselves. I've got plenty of space here. I'll try and run and see if I get shot into the keeper. But no, he's seen Mason Mount there. In acres of space on his own. I'll stop the ball. Beautifully weighted pass. He's just one of those that, as Andrew said, he gets you off your feet. He gets everybody, off the seats, bums off seats, on feet, and it's very, very, very popular with the kids, and kids, and that's what you always want to see. You want to see the kids looking up to these, looking up to the young players. These are their generation footballers that they're going to look up to for many years now. Garnacho he's just one of a kind, and he's never scared. He'll get fouled, he'll get back up, and he'll just keep driving at the fullbacks, driving at the opposition defence. And I've noticed he's also working on his defensive side of the game as well, which is really good. You can't just have just Anthony, for example, on the right hand side just doing it, and you just want to languish on the left there. He's getting back, he's getting stuck in. which is good to see. So he's learning that side of the game as well. He's not just all about going forward and attacking and trying to get a shot off, trying to get a pass in behind the opposition's back line. He's really, really, honestly, I think he's the best player I've seen in a long time that's come out of that academy, with the exception of Kobbie Mainoo. And it's absolute shame that Kobbie Mainoo picked up that injury against Real Madrid, because I could guarantee you he'd have started against Wolves, Kobbie Mainoo, because the way that he's been used in pre-season. And that's probably why we're sort of maybe looking a little bit light in midfield. We're looking like the patterns of players not quite there at the minute. Because if you think about it, the start of pre-season was working with Kobbie Mainoo in there. Kobbie Mainoo was the one that's, that's been doing a lot of the dirty work as well. It was got a bit on notice. So that's why you could push Casemiro on a little bit more. You could push your Mason Mount on a little bit more. You could, put Bruno could go and do what he needs to do, because you've got Kobbie there, just to mop everything up. And that kid's going to be special. So we've got a couple of special talents. Somebody also said in the comments about Palestri. Palestri is going to be a cracking player as well. Hopefully, all will be cracking players in Manchester United shirts for years to come.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry, Connie didn't get it. No Benny quote on chalk on his boots. But what you did get was the usage of the word guaranteed, which I haven't heard since the days of Vince McMahon and the Monday Night Wars.
I was going to say,
WWE.
Just to add on Garnacho, in some ways, I'm glad he wasn't given the number 7 shirt. Because I'm just thinking that pressure on him to live up to it. I'm just thinking that young age, just develop your game, and then in the years to come, Mountleys, that way, then giving it once he's got that more experience. I just thought giving it, because the rumor was he was going to get it, and I just thought no. Don't give him that too much pressure on his shoulders. So I just thought, in some ways, I'm glad I'm glad he gave it to Mason Mount, because I think he can live up to that number 7 billing. So, but I think it's that number 7 shirt is for Garnacho in the future.
Absolutely. Well, good chat so far, guys. We've got one last little thing to do. I'm just getting it now. This should be live on your screens. Have we got it? Yes, we do. There we are. Fandabidozy. So this is our general idea as to who we might think might play against Wolves. Now, I've already filled in the goalkeeper because I figured we're all going to go for that. So I'll put Onana in goal, unless anybody particularly wanted to go for Tom Heaton. No, didn't think
no, but there is some interesting news on the goalkeeper front. It looks like the lad from Arsenal is going to Forest. So it's
Ramsdale?
very the I can't remember his name, Matt something.
He used to play for Brighton, didn't he?
Dean Henderson might be playing number 2 again.
So it looks like Dean Henderson won't be going to Forest.
See, Matt
very pleased about that.
No, I think Forest still want him.
Very telling that Dean Henderson's not played a minute of pre-season football either.
He's still injured.
Yeah, I think Forest still want him.
Well, I'd imagine if they sign the lad from Arsenal, they're not going to want him because they're signing him as a number 1.
Oh, they have signed him though, haven't they? The lad from Arsenal.
Well, it's breaking news tonight that it's been agreed, but it's not been completed.
Right. Okay. Right, so
I can't remember his name. It's just flashed up on my thing, but it's gone again.
Turner, isn't it?
Turner, yeah, Matt Turner.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Breaking news only on this channel, probably possibly, unless there's other channels live that have had the same thing. I don't know. I'm not watching that. I'm doing this, but we'll claim it for now. So there we go. Defense-wise, we've had the chat about right back. Who do we see starting there? Wan-Bissaka or Dalot? Dan.
So is this who I think should start, or I think he's going to start?
Well, I mean, who would you start? Yeah.
I would start Wan-Bissaka, but I do think he's going to start Dalot.
Okay, interesting. Ben?
Wan-Bissaka for me.
Wan-Bissaka. Bainesy?
Yeah, same Wan-Bissaka for me. Not that I don't like Dalot, but yeah, Wan-Bissaka for me.
And Andrew, in the nicest way, it really doesn't matter what you say, but who would you have gone for?
I was going to say this. It's probably the one or two position that's pretty much up for debate at the moment. Okay, Delo probably didn't help himself today with that awful pass, but depends how he does in training across the week. But I think he might go with Wan-Bissaka. I think that's going to be Wan-Bissaka at right back.
Just to add as well, I genuinely think that for right back, we're absolutely sound. Between these two, if they can both stay consistent, and because they offer something a little bit different, but if they can both, we don't need one. We just need them both to be in decent form.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dave's gone for Wan-Bissaka, which is who we put in there, but Jennifer sticking with Dallo, nailing their colours to the mast there, which is grand stuff. Let's go left back. I mean, I personally probably would have gone Luke Shaw, but we'll go back the other way. Andrew, who would you have put in there?
Luke Shaw. That's it.
Bainesy?
Yeah, that one is. I don't think it's anything up for debate. It's got to be Luke Shaw. It has to be.
Penny, would you go Shaw?
Alvaro Fernandez. No, Luke Shaw, mate. Luke Shaw.
No, what? I was
There was a brief
threw me
moment
off
there.
that
I'm
one.
like, really? We're going to have a debate about Luke Shaw now? Okay. Dan, you'd gone Shaw?
Yeah, I'd go Shaw. Special mention
sure?
to Williams in pre-season. I think he's been excellent. To say that he was on his way out, he's been really good. And Fernandez.
Wonderful. Dave's gone for that as well. So that's grand. I'm sure that Jennifer will catch up in a minute and she'll say the same thing. There you go.
There you go.
Knew she was coming. So there we go. The two centre-backs then, player 2 and player 3. What would be your centre-back pairing, Dan?
I would go for Martinez and Varane. He seems to trust them. They seem to know what they're doing. I think that's what he's going to pick for the majority of the season.
Okay. Bainesy?
Yeah, same. They got I know the Golden Glove goes to the keeper, but there has to be a huge credit towards Varane and Martinez. So yeah, those two are the picks for me.
Brilliant. Benny?
Same picks. And all I'm going to say is thank God Martinez is back. What a guy.
Oh, he's so good, isn't he?
What a guy.
He's so good. You know, just quickly on Martinez, obviously there was this whole hysteria about when he joined and he was 5'1" or whatever, right?
5'8".
And there was this whole thing about, oh, is he good enough? Is he going to be challenging the Premier League? And you watch him on TV and you think he's good. He's a good little player. He is completely different live. He is mustard, absolute mustard. Like I've never seen someone so just comfortable, knowing what he wants to do. He's just so good. I think we've obviously had a huge gem on him, but yeah, I'm so happy with Martinez. He's just such a brilliant centre back, and hopefully you can saw it when he got injured, the drop off we had last season. So hopefully he keeps fit, because a metatarsal injury isn't great long term for footballers, as we saw with Rooney. He always had to tape it up and whatever. So yeah, hopefully he stays fit for us.
Well, Andrew, I'm going to assume you're going to go for the same back two, but just for the sake of difference, Connor's gone for Lindelof and Evans. Can I just say, on a sentimental point of view, if Johnny Evans turns out for Man United again, I will be quite pleased about that.
It was an absolute pleasure watching him in Edinburgh. What a guy.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Jarvis has gone for Martinez and Stu Willie. Stu would have been delighted in that.
I'd like to see that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, you think Onana shouts at players, you wait till you watch Stu. There we go. So, Andrew, who would you have gone for?
Yeah, I'm just saying on Johnny Evans, I'd give him like a year's contract. I just think he's still a good defender. But yeah, I'd go the same centre backs. But if either one of them wasn't available, Lindelof is a good backup to come in as well. But yeah, Martinez and Varane for me are just solid as a rock. They are, both of them.
Fair enough. So let's look at our midfielders, 6 and 8. Long gone, we think, are the days of McFred and loving it. So what do we reckon for our midfield 2 in general there? Bainesy, you can kick this one off.
Casemiro, obviously. And I think from what we're seeing, it's going to be Casemiro and Bruno, I think. in the 6 and 8.
Okay.
And then obviously,
Andrew,
I think number 9 plays for itself. But yeah, Casemiro, Bruno for those two for now.
Andrew, we'll give you a go now so that you feel like you're taking part and not just picking off other people's stuff.
Definitely the same. Bruno and Casemiro, they link up really well together. So yeah, I'll definitely be those two in the midfield. So Casemiro sitting slightly back and Bruno slightly ahead of him, but they both work in tandem together.
Lovely. Dan?
Has Mount been playing further forward than Bruno?
Yeah. From what we've seen, Bruno drops deeper with Casemiro, and Mount is the one that plays the 10. That's from what I've seen anyway. I mean, they could just swap a lot.
They need to change for the game anyway, both of those, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it will be an interchange. So I'll just say that I think it will be Casemiro, Bruno, and Mount in those three.
Yeah.
Benny, is that what you're
Mount
going with?
is number 10 for me.
Benny?
What's that, mate?
Is that the same for you, Casemiro and Bruno?
Yeah, same for me, because unfortunately, as I said before, Kobe Mainoo was injured, so yeah.
Lovely, and we all say Mount then as the number 9.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, technically number 10, but yeah.
I know he should have been the number 10 technically, but I had a bit of a brain fart. All right. Not the wrong way around, but it's all covered up now. Nobody knows. So there we go. Until you mentioned it. Thanks for that. There we go.
Okay. No worries.
Who's playing down the left then? Dan.
Off today, it's got to be Garnacho.
He's picking Alejandro.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Andrew, are you going Alejandro?
This is probably the other debate I had in mind, that position. I'm just thinking with Garnacho, he had a good game today and it was a constant threat. Like with Sancho, on the other hand, he performed well as a false 9, during the other preseason game, but he doesn't bring that same penetration on the left wing. So I think it's going to be, I would put Garnacho on the left, not Sancho.
Okay, interesting. Bainesy?
Yeah, this front three can change a lot. It's obviously a good problem to have. Yeah. I don't know whether it'd be Rashford or Garnacho that start. This is starting against Wolves, isn't it? So
I suppose the key thing to remember, Højlund is injured, so there's no way that...
Yeah, so it's not going to be Højlund that plays a 9. I think it's going to be Garnacho then. I think
Martial's not fit as well from all accounts.
No, so that
Martial's not fit. You surprised me, Dan.
I'm shocked. Yeah,
I think Garnacho on the left for me, and then we'll get to the other two. But I think the other two kind of speak for itself now.
Benny,
Garnacho all day on the left for me, mate. Rashford would be out on the left if Højlund was fit, or if Martial was probably fit. But definitely Garnacho, mate. Just let him at him. Just let him tear shreds into Wolves. Be like Wolves to the slaughter. I
would tend to agree. Connor's liking the song about Alejandro. He's also trying to get...
That's not his actual song, by the way.
Say again, sorry?
I said, thank goodness that's not his actual song, that Alejandro.
Right. Exactly. He's also trying to get #host out trending, as if like he has no power over this whatsoever. Anytime you're ready, Connor. Anytime you're ready, feel free. It's not a problem at all. But you might have Jennifer to deal with, and by the sounds of things, possibly even Mr. Jarvis too. So there we go, Connor Roberts. Are we going to basically, let's cut the niceties on that? Are we going Rashford and Anthony as the remaining two players?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Those two are the ones that make sense.
I do think that Sancho's really lucky to miss out because I think he's been fantastic pre-season.
Yeah, can agree with that as well. I think Sancho's the one that will rotate along with Garnacho, because then Rashford would naturally go left, Højlund through the middle, and I think Anthony will go right. And then how good is it that we can bring on Garnacho? Who's the other player that I've just missed out
Sancho.
on. Oh my god, Sancho.
Yeah.
And then we've obviously got Martial as well when he wants to play a few cup games or whatever. So
we've got Palestri as well. Palestri can go on that.
Yeah,
right.
Palestri. I think
unless he goes out, of course.
Unless he goes out on loan, yeah. But yeah, again,
do we think
those three.
Do we think the Ahmad injury is going to put a stop to any Palistri loan?
It could do. It could do. Depends how long you're looking at Ahmad being out for.
Yeah. It looks like 4 to 6 weeks from the sound of it.
Yeah. You'll probably keep Palestri, and then if he has to go out, if he fancies going out on loan, it could be a January loan deal. For
I don't think
after the season.
Honestly, I don't think Palestri is a great player, but I don't think if you look at the depth of the front three, you've got Martial, Højlund now. Rashford can play there. On the left, you've got Garnacho and Rashford. On the right, you've got Anthony. Rashford can go there sometimes. We've seen Bruno right wing. So
I never want to see that ever again.
Of course,
I don't want to see it, but he plays there. And Sancho plays both. So, yeah, there's a lot of depth there. With Palestri, it'd be better if he does go on loan with Ahmad.
Yeah, I want to see
of course,
minutes.
Ahmad's injured, but yeah.
If Palestri goes on loan, it has to be a Premier League loan. Instead of farming him out to Spain, get him a Premier League loan somewhere. He needs to be playing Premier League football.
Yeah, no, I think I tend to agree with you there. Well, there we go. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Jennifer's gone. Sancho needs to prove his worth for me. I think everybody.
I think this is the season where he needs to do it. Yeah, I agree with that one.
I think everybody agrees on that one.
Yeah. Sarvi's saying I would keep Palistri. That kid is something special. It's one of those tricky ones, isn't it? It's all very well and good. We're not Chelsea. You don't just keep players and then hoard them just so that other players can't have them or other teams can't have them, really. And I suppose that's the big issue that we would have there, isn't it? It's all well and good keeping him, but where does he play? And Jennifer Jordan just likening Martial to Darren Anderton, which I'm struggling to argue against, if I'm brutally honest. So there we are. Well, lads, it's been brilliant. A lovely way to spend an hour and 12 minutes of a Saturday evening. We've gone through quite a bit, and I think we're all pretty much looking forward to next week. But we've got to wait. We've got to wait till Monday, which is a little bit naff, isn't it? We've got to see everybody else play and then just hold on till Monday. But can we do it? Andrew, are you going to be all right getting all the way through to Monday night?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Brilliant.
One more pre-season game left.
Well, indeed. Yes, one more tomorrow being played, but I should imagine that's going to be mostly the youngsters, the second string, the people that we didn't see.
It won't be the 21s, though. A lot of people are misconstruing this 21s. It'll be most of the subs that didn't get appearances and squad players. Maybe a couple of 21s, because the other 21s are playing Monday night away at Chester. So just thought I'd throw that one in there, because I know there's been a lot of talk about the 20.
It'll be the subs.
In the 21 side.
It'll be the second 11.
The second 11 with a couple of 21s, I think, to back the bench up a little bit.
Yeah.
Has been a weird one, though, hasn't it? I can't remember too many pre-seasons where we've had a friendly followed by a friendly immediately afterwards as well. So twice that's happened. It's been good. Very good to watch. Hopefully, like this show. So thank you very much for joining us. Like and subscribe if you'd like. That would be wonderful. Dan, I understand you're not going to be with us next week. So
not, unfortunately.
So we're going to be looking for a standing co-host next week. So we'll have to see who I can drag in for next week. But until then, Bainesy, it's been an absolute pleasure getting you back on. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thank you. No, thank you very
much.
much.
Have you improved your tea making skills since one of the last times you were on here?
Are you not going to let that go? Yeah, I have. Look, I haven't put the milk in first this time. I'll have you know. Tea bag, water, then milk. But yes, I have. Thank you very much. And thank you for reminding me about that horrible night. So thank you.
It's what I do. But yes, brilliant to have you back on, Bainesy. And Benny, awesome to have you and your inside perspective as well. So yeah, and as ever, thank you to Dandrew for both of you. But you're here every week anyway, so cheers for not sacking us off. Brilliant. It's been awesome. We've enjoyed it. Let's look forward to, we've still got the Women's World Cup. You can still watch that during the week. And then football is back next weekend.
Football's already back, mate.
Can't wait. See you then.